Because people talk about Nigeria manufacturing iron for Atajakuta, zero, it's not possible. That's a subject for another day. There was a time we were talking about Gili. Everybody I met, any program, I said, it will never happen. Edo State is landlocked. Let's talk about what can work. That's why I say I'm not a critic.
Can do. You take on the packaging cola.
We can start from very small thing.
Yes.
If we want to manufacture anything, we need power. How do you get the power?
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I want people to know that this thing is not impossible.
Doc, you said it's easier to melt iron than sand, because silicon.
Yeah.
How possible is that, and how does it relate to the manufacturing?
There are 118 naturally occurring elements known to science in the universe. Then another about 10, 15 or 18 that are produced in laboratory. Those 118 elements are the ingredients of manufacturing. Like I told you earlier, silicon is an element. Iron is also an element. They all have their various melting points. Sand, to melt sand, you need more energy to melt the sand than to melt iron. Iron can melt at maybe 1,800 degrees or whatever, but sand, we have to go beyond that.
And we have all of this here in Nigeria.
We have everything.
That's a raw material.
We are like Russia. We are a commodity exporting country. Commodity exporting country. If you look at the GDP of Russia, with the vast, Russia is the largest country in the world by far, 2.5 times the size of America. They have all the products you can ever think, all the commodities you can ever think about. But their GDP is just 2.1 billion. America is 27 billion. Why is this so? Because of manufacturing. China is about 17 billion now, trillion now. I'm talking of trillion, not billion, trillion.
Okay.
So why is it that Japan, that is an island, that doesn't have any raw material, they are ranked number 4 in the world in terms of GDP? Because they add value to raw material. We are not adding value to raw material. We just pick our commodity and we export it. If we add value, you will see that there will be an exponential growth in our GDP.
Why I said that?
Right now, our GDP, like I said, is 199 billion, not trillion, billion.
We need an economist to
we are not even getting to trillion yet. Billion, 199 billion. And that's like a toddler, children's game. That's where we are. And if you want us to grow into the category of countries that are really moving the world, you can only get there through manufacturing. And take sand, for example, quartz. How much sand do you think you will need to produce that phone? Not much.
Well,
by the time you finish with it, let me just say this. I'm coming. You will have your chance.
Okay.
By the time you finish with that, look at the value. Look at the SUV cars that we are driving.
Yes.
How much? $100-something thousand. Do you know what's in the car? It's just iron. It's just iron.
Electrics. Wire.
No, if you talk of the quantum, the weight of a SUV about 2.5 tons. 90% of it or 95% of it is iron. So how much is a ton of iron? $300. So if you have the ability to bring those things here, because people talk about Nigeria manufacturing iron for Atajakuta, zero, it's not possible. That's a subject for another day. I challenge anybody. I see them all the time. They make noise. Minister of Industry or whatever, they go to Ajakuta, they have to revamp it. It's a lie. It can never happen. It can never happen. When they were talking about Gele, I looked at the map of Nigeria. I said, it can never happen.
Gele.
When we were talking about Gele, you know, there was a time we were talking about Gele.
Yes.
Everybody I met, any program, I said, it will never happen. They say, why? I said, just look at the map of Nigeria. Edo State is landlocked. We don't have access to the Bight of Benin.
No, let us believe it will never happen.
So let's leave that side.
It may happen because there are different.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me. When I say it will never happen, what I mean is that nobody is foolish enough to go and start dredging when you have access to water.
Okay.
Cocoa is just about 1 hour away from here, or let me say 1.5 hours. And you have natural deep water.
Yes.
Why should you not go and beg Delta State? When I say landlocked, I mean that Edo State doesn't have access to, you may not know what is Bight of Benin, let me say to the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay.
Edo State doesn't have boundary with Atlantic Ocean. You have boundary with Delta and Ondo State. So if you want to take ship to Gele, you have to go and buy land from Delta and dredge it.
States, yes.
And dredge it. Why should you do that? It doesn't make sense. It's not possible because your resources are limited and you have to spend it wisely. There are so many other areas to deal with.
That's true.
So when I say Ajakuta is not possible, because economically it's not possible. Our iron is only 33% iron content. Whereas the one you have in Guinea, the one you have in Russia, the one you have in Australia, they are 66%. Then number two, the Ajakuta Steel Complex is having what you call a direct blast furnace, which if you put it on, it must run for 10 years. If you put it off, you can't start it again. It's done. And what you have there is a blast furnace. We need a direct reduction. So that cannot work. Where the raw material is so far from where the plant is, and then where is the electricity? This cannot work.
Electricity.
So let's talk about what can't work. That's why I say I'm not a critic. So here, Nigeria is this.
What can work, and then focused on
things that
that.
can work. I want government to know the things that can work. Let them go and do that so that we can start making progress.
Okay, before we come to that, Prof wants to say something while you were saying.
I said just now that I didn't totally agree with you because repeatedly you said if they bring the Dieziani money and others and so on.
We also have Abacha also coming in batches.
The reason why I said so was because government throwing money at things have never worked in this country. You and I know that. So if they bring the money, it will still go the same way because they are still going to put their proxy inside those things to manage it. Let me give you an example. When Dangote had his own stress before he started, you are aware right now.
Had his own what?
His own stress. Yes, Dangote. He had his own challenges before he started production. Go ahead. As we are talking right now, I'm aware that Dangote is producing his own light. Total is producing their own light, other people and so on. So eventually, just like what I told my friend BDC and even NEPA and other, what happened to Nitel will eventually happen. We cannot believe that these people are going to hold us ransom forever. If they like, let them generate 1,000 megawatts. Let them generate even less than 1,000. Eventually, they will fade with technology. And the way which people will fail? BDC and other, they will fade. They will go away. Whether you like it, whether we like it or not.
I said they don't have the north.
That is, they will fade. They will go away. Why? Because individuals themselves will start relying less on them. I want to start. Companies and others, many of them are already pulling away from them. You understand? For me, wait now. No, you had your time now. Let me talk, please. Good. Let me talk. Good. Well, what am I saying?
I want us to focus on the issues very well.
No. You talk about aggregators, which to me is like we're expanding it. What I'm trying to say in essence is that for individuals who are interested in industrialization,
yes,
policies are actually what they need. And once you have the right policy, it is better the private sector map out and focus on those ones. If you are saying government is going to run, the government not run NPC for many years. What came out of it? So it's not matter of bringing money to the country, because you are going to be throwing the money into the same basket.
What you are doing, you are just talking so that you can create contradiction. Let me just
no. That's belittling my intelligence. Hold on. It's not matter of contradiction.
Listen to me.
No, you are not listening. I think you need to listen. You need to listen. You say government should bring money and you don't start bringing money and just throw it like that. What is the chain of custody of the resource person to manage
the money?
What you have?
You see. What I'm talking, I told you just now.
What is the chain of custody?
I said
no, I'm not saying you. You must have individuals at different level who have training, who have exposure to manage. You understand what I mean? You just your phone is just made of ordinary sand. I can't because I didn't want to like belittle it. There are a lot of things involved, even if you call it an ordinary sand. In doing a microprocessor semiconductor. And what is involved? Why did you think of recent America have what you call the Microchip Act? The Microchip Act is a policy to make it more environmentally friendly for anybody that wants to go into microchip to come in. So you need an environmentally friendly domain.
The question is, you see, we
have
been doing this for I don't know, 100 years now. We have been doing all these things. We just speak English and talk. What we are asking is, what is the way forward? What is the way forward?
I'm not what I'm saying now.
What we are talking about now, you are saying that it's not possible for government. If government,
you said government should bring this money, and just you said more than 2 or 3 times. I'm saying that if government bring that money, it does not solve the problem.
Pay attention, please. Pay attention. If you want to do anything, you need money. Government today, they have done their budget.
They have their annual budget, yes.
If they are going to spend money, they cannot go and dip their hands to that budget anymore.
Because it's planned.
It's already planned for. Dieziani's money was never planned for.
It just came.
That is why I mentioned about it. So some of these things we say, we don't say it because we want to talk. We are talking because, number one.
Okay, what is the chain of custody of trainees you are putting on ground to manage the money and the outcome?
You talk about...
You see...
No. You see,
I'm coming.
Okay.
I just asked you, let's talk practical.
I'm a very practical person, extremely practical.
The practical part I'm saying now.
Yes.
Every day we have been talking about Nigeria. We can sit down here now and criticize Nigeria about everything, and then we'll go home. We have not achieved anything.
Well, I'm telling
you now that, okay, we are complaining about Nigeria. Nigeria is not producing anything, which I have been saying. And they say, okay, I have an answer. Power. If you want to talk about power now, how do you generate power? Oh, they'll say go and bring a huge plant. 4 years, we are still building it. It will materialize. I've told you, there's a plant called TM 2500 manufactured by General Electric. You pick that plant, you can buy a second hand of it. I've researched it. It's just about 1,500. 1.5 billion.
I'll give it to who?
Please.
We know that Nigeria cannot manufacture everything. But I wanted to itemize or list the possible things that Nigeria can manufacture.
Exactly. You prioritize what you see you can do with.
Mention that 1, 2, 3 things Nigeria can manufacture. Not that we cannot manufacture everything.
Listen to what I'm saying.
What are the few things you think Nigeria can manufacture?
Listen to what I've said now. I'm not the one to tell government what to do.
No, you can suggest. You can suggest.
I just suggested. I said, for example,
okay,
we have raw material that we can use sand to make. Okay. Although he said it's not sand. If I tell you now,
I said it's not just sand. It's beyond sand.
If I tell you aeroplane is mostly. I said the car is mostly iron. I give you. I said in terms of weight.
Yes.
I said it's mostly iron.
Okay. Because there are other things.
Okay.
Did you hear what I said just now about bitter cola? I said we have it in abundance,
but we don't know.
But we have not been able to even
put it to
package the resources
to make Nigeria.
You can manufacture anything.
Okay,
even if it's a broomstick and if it is in demand, you will make money. The reason why I brought in Taiwan to let you know that they are not taking of getting so many things. They have strength in that microchip and semiconductor because they have strength in that, and the demand for that is so high to power artificial intelligence, power satellites, power driverless vehicles, power computers, power your phones and everything and so on. The strength, the GDP generated for them is awesome. It's another level. What am I trying to say?
What is the GDP of Taiwan?
Let me finish now. Let me finish. So what am I saying? What am I trying? Whatever you say is not among the top 10. What am I trying to say? For the fact that they're able to do that, they have an area they can say, yes, in terms of manufacturing, we are awesome. Nigeria need to decide their own priorities.
Why is China producing everything?
Nigeria need to decide their own priorities.
Why is China producing everything? I'm asking you.
China is not producing everything. When you say China is producing everything,
what is China not producing? China is producing. China has manufactured America in everything. China is number one in manufacturing. They manufacture even the telephones that are used in America are made in China.
You know where you are getting it wrong. I think you are not following history. Most of those products you are saying China. Are you aware there are more than 500 American companies in China? So when it comes from China, they will still say made in China.
Okay, so
why do you think even when this sanction started, Chinese people say when we start retaliating?
What point are you making now?
When we start retaliating, don't complain. Because many of your companies are also based in our soil.
We're not talking about what's the let's know what Nigerians can do. You mentioned the packaging cola,
we can start from very small things.
Yes, the things you think we can do. So we can start from there.
I've told you just.
When you go to spare part market, you are looking for one small thing. You're very
Listen to me.
Yes.
All these things we are talking about, they are very direct.
The direct question.
And for us to start jumping back and forth, and somebody is talking, you target him just to create confusion. It is not necessary.
No. You have had your time to talk. And when you say confusion, you have had your time to talk much more. You understand? All I'm trying to tell you is that Nigeria can prioritize what they want to be known for.
I was telling you that if you have a plan, you just sit down here and start talking about how Nigeria will prioritize. You didn't tell us how you will do it or how to achieve it. I'm trying to tell you now that here we are. If we want to manufacture anything, we need power. How do you get the power? Is it by criticizing government?
But I just told you that the private segment is powering its own this and that.
It's different opinions. Yes, he has a point that we need power to manufacture things. We know that manufacturing sector is a large, huge consumer of energy, which is power. So your own view is now that the power sector is not there yet. They cannot really.
The power monopoly has to be broken. Listen,
has to be broken.
When thought that they were just, United thought that they could not be broken. United thought that they were all and all. But eventually, have you forgotten when you go to United those days, you say your phone has issue. They will tell you, what car did you bring? If you don't bring good car, when they get your hour, what did they do?
What has that got to do with
that? It has a lot to do. So once the right issue, the so-called life you are talking about, once the octopus nature of ABT or BDT or NEPA, whatever, is broken totally, and so on, you see like everywhere.
Okay, so how are you going to break it? What's your plan? How to break it?
Oh, they're already breaking it.
No, your own plan. What's your plan?
How many people selling solar in Benin right now? Is it the same number that was selling last year?
Is that solar made in Nigeria?
Whether they are made in Nigeria, it's a step by step.
Again.
Yes,
Listen, you don't know. It's not that I don't know.
Hold on. That solar panel.
We need what we do here.
I want you to understand something. That solar panel is also sound. You want to contradict me?
From silicon.
Listen, you are making it look as if it's a debate between me.
It's not a debate.
It's not about whether it's sand or not.
The moment I'm making a point, you said I said because it's made of sand and all these things. I'm telling you, majority of what you are saying there is this is the element that's there.
Yes.
That is not
so why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I want people to know that this thing is not impossible. We can do it.
We can do it because it's very possible.
We have to make up our mind and determine us that we want to make this thing.
And how we
100% agree
how we are going to do it.
Exactly.
And the moment I start telling you, you said no that Shell is doing their own one corner, the other one is doing their own corner. Exactly. It's a monopoly. The monopoly is created by government. That is why I keep talking about leadership. I told you just now, I said, all the people that serve Nigeria, whether as governor or as president, they have misrepresented Nigeria. And if you are a governor now, you are a president, what you need to do in order for us to be able to say you have be able to uplift Nigeria is to say, these are the items that in my own time we were not producing, we are not producing.
Yes. I think that's what we should be looking at. The things that we know or we can
that is the issue.
We can produce. We can make suggestions. Just looking at the way forward. What can Nigeria do or pick to produce or manufacture in Nigeria?
Nobody is debating that. I'm trying to say that in our attempt to say things we can do, prioritize the things you can do, even if they are indigenous. Let people know you for this.
Yes, and then improve on it.
I agree with him on that. You understand what I mean? But it's when you start saying, oh, you bring the Dieziani money, let government have this and so on. Meanwhile, there is no
change of cost of your
needs to be
used. We need to know how Dieziani money is spent.
Dieziani money, if you find out what they want to do with it now, it passes through World Bank and it goes through there and you never see anywhere it has gone to. So, listen,
Abash has money. We still have to know how it was spent.
But if somebody who is leading, let me tell you, 1949, when Mao Zedong, he took over, he made up his mind that he wanted to industrialize China. He worked for it. All the countries that were industrialized, people, the leaders, they worked for it. If you have leaders, I don't need to say this. I said it when I was a bit interviewed some time ago. I said, look, in 1999, when Bulemu was the military administrator, wanted me to become governor. I said no. I said I'm glad that I did not do it, because if I had gone there, I wouldn't have even known what to do. I would have just been fighting corruption here and fighting corruption there and all that. In the end, I won't do anything.
Really?
Yes, because like the guy you have now in Burkina Faso, he's fighting corruption by. In the end, he will not really achieve much, because the fundamentals of progress is to get exponential growth through manufacturing. If he's not able to start by doing the right thing, creating power, generating electricity, and using this electricity to manufacture goods, he will never make any progress. Look at the man in Rwanda. He has been there now for how many years? They have been praising him, but it is clear now that he has not achieved anything. If you look at the GDP of Rwanda. It's peanuts. So all the praise we are giving him, what is he doing? He's always bringing things from overseas to come and arrange in his country, doing solar power, solar lights, arrange it, or say, oh, he's doing well. You're not doing well, my brother.
Please for the information, even in China, you are healing and all that. Most of the raw materials, Chinese people, they go to other countries to go and collect them too.
Is that what we are saying now?
No, but
we are saying that we should also buy raw materials from other places and bring here and manufacture it here. Add value to it.
I've already said that a lot of raw material.
If Japanese can do, what can't we do?
A lot of raw material, we already have them here. It's for you to prioritize. What do you want to start with?
Can you do that without electricity?
A toddler does not start standing.
That's what
can you do that without electricity?
That's what the government
want to manufacture. Can you manufacture anything without electricity?
If nobody, even an unborn child knows that.
So why should you now be talking about
that only government? Why do you think that only government should?
Because without government, you can't achieve anything, even if you have the money.
Okay.
I'm an industrialist. I can tell you that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Government,
thank you very much, Doc.
Anything.
Thank you very much, Doc. Prof, yes, we know that we understand that power is a major tool in setting a manufacturing company, because manufacturing sector is a huge consumer of power. So, what's the way forward? In this manufacturing sector, what's the way forward? What should be a take home from this program? You have said before that we should prioritize bitter cola. We should mention a few things you think Nigeria can produce within, and then we'll be proud to say this is made in Nigeria.
I just said it. There's almost no farm agri-product we don't have in Nigeria.
Yes, agri-products.
If we can even decide, let's have a motivational fund. That motivational fund goes to agencies that are able to produce results.
Yes.
You can include university. You can say university, look, you have school of agri, you have this and so on. Motivational fund is there. If you're able to do 1 or 2 harvests and we're able to see the result and so on, we can say the overall winner among the universities get 500 million. You will see how many universities will wake up. When my kid was in year 1, I told them, my motivational fund for my kid was, if you give me an A, you get 5,000 naira. My first daughter in first year made 8 A's.
He wants to get 5,000.
Yeah, because I want to get 5,000. So the government must have a motivational fund for agencies to say, look, any agency able to do this on this, what they do.
This is what I would do.
Exactly. That is part of the reason why even the microchip, when it was set up, this is the target. Companies who are coming up to set up this and this is what they get. So what I'm trying to say is, whether we have agricultural product as our target, whether we have any other type of product, whatever we want to do, there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody can have a strength in all areas. It is not possible. Even university can have strength in all areas. They must decide their area of weakness and strength.
Yes,
what's our area of strength right now? No, we are a tropical country. 2, our land, we have plenty land. We can actually go and farm. But because of insecurity, the yield of the farm is not as high as we want also. So we need to prioritize what we feel. We show our
very
strength.
important. Thank you very much. Doc, at this time, let's hear your closing remark in this regards. The last word.
What is important for us as a country is that we should start manufacturing something. And we should start it very quickly.
Okay, without delay.
And Nigeria is #1 country in Africa that is positioned to do that, because we have the largest gas reserve in Africa.
Wow.
#9 in the world.
Yes.
So because of that gas is the energy. If you look at South Africa that is producing 75 megawatts of power, they don't have gas, they only have coal. Egypt doesn't have, Ethiopia doesn't have. But we that have the largest gas reserve in Africa, we are producing only 5,000. It's a shame. And you cannot manufacture anything without electricity.
Okay, thank you very much. Doc, you have made a wonderful contribution to this topic. Prof.
Because people talk about Nigeria manufacturing iron for Atajakuta, zero, it's not possible. That's a subject for another day. There was a time we were talking about the everybody I met, any program, I said, it will never happen. Edo State is landlocked. Let's talk about what can work. That's why I say I'm not a critic.
Can do. You better the packaging cola.
We can start from very small thing.
Yes.
If we want to manufacture anything, we need power. How do you get the power?
Yes,
again.
Yes,
Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I want people to know that this thing is not impossible.